Hey, my legion, how y'all doing today? I'm back with a movie review. I'm going to be reviewing Jingle All the Way Part 2. Alright, here we go. I was being silly. I hope I didn't creep you out too much. Well, USA is doing starting last Monday, they were doing like a Christmas week. Well, no, WWE week on USA. And it ended tonight with network premiere of Jingle All the Way 2. WWE Studios movie, brand spanking new, 2014, and it's a sequel to the Arnold Schwarzenegger Sinbad movie, the big budget one, and it stars Larry the Cable Guy and Santino Marella. Well, WWE superstar Santino Marella, the wrestler. Now, first of all, it's not the first movie. The first movie is a super huge budget, where it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Super madcap comedy with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. A lot of critics panned it, and it was a big flop. But this sequel has gotten a lot of hate because it's not the original. And I know Larry the Cable Guy is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know that Santino Marella is not Sinbad, even though I'm not a huge Sinbad fan, anyways. So let's get that out of the way. I know that. And I was interested to see what the movie is, and they said it looks nothing like the original, but I'll tell you what this movie's about. Jingle All the Way to WWE Films. And first of all, it starts out Larry the Cable Guy, and he has a little daughter named Noelle. And they just, they had some nice bonding time at the beginning doing some ice fishing at the beginning. And then you see him drop her off at her mother's place, and she asked him, why couldn't you and mom stay married? Why are you divorced? And he said, well, it just didn't work out, And she gets married to this guy named Victor, super multi-million-dollar guy who owns like this box making company, super multi-million, a big mansion and everything. And they go over there and what else happened? Well, I'm getting sidetracked. It's like they were trying to negotiate who gets the times where they get to see the child, Noelle, and they said that they split. The 1 year they have, he has her for Christmas. The next year she has her for Christmas, and then Victor was all upset that Larry was going to have her for Christmas, right? And then she said, well, why have you both for Christmas? So they were going to split it down the middle. Larry would have her for Christmas 1, and then he would have her for Christmas 2. And I don't know. Victor is not a big fit, does not like Larry the Cable Guy, and Larry the Cable Guy does not like Victor. And also, Larry the Cable Guy's name in this movie is Larry. He does not deviate from his Larry the Cable Guy's persona whatsoever. And in comes Santino Marella, and he's his buddy. And it's weird seeing Santino Marella. He does not do his Italian accent you see in WWE at all. And it's really weird because you're so used to him talking like that. He doesn't talk he just talks regular. And he actually turned out to be a pretty good actor. He's not bad at all. And basically, in the original original Jingle All the Way story, they have this action figure that all the kids want, and they can't get it, and they're trying desperately to get this figure. In this movie, they have something called Harrison, which is like a Teddy Ruxpin type replica, kind of, except cheaper looking. And it could do something. It has like a recording chip. It can say your kid's name and all this other stuff if you press its paw and stuff like that. So she writes this letter to Santa, and he said, well, could you mail it for me? And Larry Cable actually looks at the letter before he mails it, and it says he wants a Harrisone bear, and they assume that's Harrison. And Santino Marella's not. It says you shouldn't do that, and he looks, and then Victor finds out that she wants that teddy bear too, from spying on him. And then he calls one of his goons, and he tells him that make sure you buy at all the Harrison dolls everywhere, because they're selling out real quick. So everywhere they go, he buys out, the security guy buys out all the Harrison dolls, not dolls, teddy bears, and buys them all so no one can have them, right? Now, the movie's only an hour and 27 minutes, and, you know, it's stretched out to 2 hours. And the first hour, it's okay. I mean, there was no laughs whatsoever the first hour. I know a lot of people ragging on it, saying this looks terrible. And so they just showed, like, the tree lighting thing that Larry the Cable Guy did. And a lot of the special effects, or the comedy effects, are so overdone and exaggerated, at least during the first hour. It's not funny, it's just kind of pathetic. And, because, like, the original one, it was like a madcap comedy type thing. That was a big bomb at the box office, but apparently a lot of people saying how much people hate the idea of Larry. They're making a sequel of this with Larry the Cable Guy and Santino. Well, anyways, with Grumpy the Cat movie, I was about ready to give up on it after the first hour, but it was still okay. Grumpy the Cat got really boring, especially in the second hour, right? Well, an hour goes by in Larry the Cable Guy, and most of this is about him. After about half hours, most of it's him trying to get this toy. And then they have, like, he had this dream sequence when they show, like, Larry the Loser Bear, and he says, get her done. I was a little laugh. And then there was a scene where Larry actually gets one of the bears by trickery. And then this little kid gives him a sob story and says, can I please have the bear? My dad's in jail. And he gives it to him. And he goes, sucker! And he gives it to that security guard. And the security guard said, here's the $50, I promise you, kid. And he said, I want another $50 and stuff like that. And he snookers the guy. I kind of like that. Now, most of the humor is very predictable. Most of the outcome is incredibly predictable. The ending is very predictable. Now, the one real saving grace is, I wish he would have done, well, he mentioned pooping his pants a little bit once. And there was the part where he asked where the toilet was. It would have been funny if when he walked away, he started farting and stuff like that. They need to have more pee, poop, and fart jokes in there, because it's Larry the Cable Guy. And that would have been good. But I'll tell you what, one saving grace, the last 20 minutes, I laughed my ass off for like a minute. They had something really, really funny in there, because I have a really stupid, silly sense of humor. I don't want to give anything away. I don't think it's a spoiler or anything like that. But if you're interested, please ask me in the comments below what I thought was so funny. I'll tell you. That part was funny. Now, with this movie is, it's okay. And I mean, I'm going to give this an okay review, because some people might think I'm nuts, but I saw Witless Protection, his movie Witless Protection, that played in theaters. And that movie absolutely sucked. Because I saw Health Inspector at the theater, at the Doll Theater. I loved Health Inspector. Bought it on DVD. I didn't have any faith in Delta farts at all. And then the foreman said he saw it when it came out. He said he didn't like it, but I saw it on TNT on demand. I actually thought it was pretty enjoyable. I like Delta Farce. And then I saw Witless Protection. I've been looking for it all over. I was going to buy it. And I'm sure glad I didn't. I saw it on TNT on demand also, and it sucked really bad. And I felt bad for Yaphet Kotto, because the great Yaphet Kotto, because he was reprising his role for Midnight Run, and Midnight Run is a killer, awesome movie. Well, anyways, I was going to give Jingle All the Way 2 6 out of 10, but because it made me laugh my ass off during the last 20 minutes, and it's not all that bad. It's not as good as the first one. Don't expect it to be as good as the first one. I give it a 7 out of 10. Now, I couldn't imagine anybody paying to get this on DVD or paying to see it at all. I mean, that's what TV and cable is for. You pay, a lot of times cable is just a way for you to watch movies you might have a little bit of interest in, and you might want to see, but you don't want to pay for it, and you can see it for free, or you can see it for free on TV. That's how I saw this one, free, premiered on USA, because I sure as hell wouldn't buy the Blu-ray DVD, because someone did a review of this and said what a sucky movie it is, and he bought the Blu-ray. I sure as hell want to do that. Watch it on TV. Watch it for free. I mean, because it's just one of those movies. But I give it a 7 out of 10. It's much better than Grumpy Cat Christmas, that got really boring towards the last hour. And much better than Witless Protection. Witless Protection sucked. And I do like Larry the Cable Guy. I think he's alright. So there you have it, 7 out of 10 for Jingle All the Way 2. It don't expect to be good as the first one. And thankfully, I'm glad that the trailer, if you saw the trailer, you'd have no hope for the movie whatsoever. And the trailer is just like him lighting of the stuff, and he goes, "It's a piece of the resistance." You know, piece of the resistance. And it, you know, it looked real cheesy. And it's not like a big budget movie, but it's very predictable, but it's watchable. If you have kids, your kids might like it. I'm sure your kids will like the first one better, but this one, it has really nothing really dirty in it or nothing. So, I mean, you know, I think they had a little bit of risque stuff in the first one, I think, but I haven't seen that one in ages. I think I saw it on Cinemax. So there you have 7 out of 10 for Jingle All the Way 2. And also, I wanted to talk about something else. I've been finding a lot of public domain movies on YouTube. I've been watching them on Roku because it's so much easier. If you watch like a long video or a long movie, it's a lot easier watching on Roku than watching like on like a little laptop or something like that, watching on a big screen TV. And I found a good way. If you hit the like on the like video, so you can just scroll down there and watch it. And my dad was complaining that I always get like the horror films and the sci-fi, which I like, and he wanted to see some westerns. So I put a couple westerns on there. I'm going to review one of them. Tim McCoy, who I've never heard of before. I've never seen any of his movies because there was a lot of guys back in the 30s and 40s I never heard of before. I never heard of Tim McCoy, and my dad never did either. I don't think my dad ever saw any of his movies. So I got a Tim McCoy movie called Straight Shooter. I also got Fighting Renegade, which I haven't seen yet, but I just was going to see this one and then do the review and then go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. And basically, Straight Shooter involves this guy that gets shot by these 4 bad guys, and he has all these hidden bonds that these guys want to steal. And apparently his daughter comes down, and then you see the sign saying that his property is available for auction or to pay off his debt, whatever debt he had. And then she meets up with the good guy, Tim McCoy, and they go and they buy the place for auction. Well, Tim McCoy does for auction, and he locks up the bad guy so he can't bid. And basically after he buys the place, it's kind of like a back and forth between the good guys and the bad guys. It's only 53 minutes long, just to fill up the time. It doesn't have much of a story, and it doesn't tell a story very well. So I give this Tim McCoy's movie Straight Shooter maybe like a 4.5, 5 out of 10. It's not very good, but it's okay. And these were like B westerns, and a lot of these movies that were like an hour or less than an hour long, and the westerns were primarily made just for the drive-in. But it was okay, and my dad said it was okay. Yeah, it's all right. The one thing is it's just an old movie from 1939, and a lot of the black and white, the black melds in with the other black, and sometimes it's hard to see what's going on. Just like with that Great White movie, a lot of the underwater sequences were hard to see. Maybe just the film stock or stuff like that. But I mean, this was probably the best you're ever going to see, unless they decide to restore it. I don't think they're going to. So there you have it, like a 4.5, 5 for Straight Shooter from Tim McCoy, and 7 for Jingle All the Way from WWE Studios. Some people might think I'm crazy for giving it a 7, but it's okay. In the last 20 minutes, if you have a silly sense of humor, you might laugh your ass off for like a minute during the last 20 minutes. Maybe. Ask me what it is. Ask me why I laughed in the comments. And whenever I can, probably when I get some time off after Christmas, I'm going to answer all my comments. So it takes me a little while because of work and stuff. So until next time, all right, please take care, my legion. Jingle All the Way 2 is not bad, but I think Santino Marella is a very good actor. I liked him in the movie. So take care, everybody.